Now, from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News live at 3.
Many families tonight will go to bed in a world that is suddenly empty. The people they so dearly love were torn away from them forever. Our souls are
right now on 13 Action News, President Trump grieves with Las Vegas.
He first went to UMC to meet with some of the victims of the mass shooting.
From there, the president met with first responders a few blocks away at Metro. 13 Action News reporter Tom George was there all morning as the president arrived.
Now, this all took place right here at Metro headquarters, where we've been hearing briefings throughout this process. Today was blocked off as that motorcade came through and the president went in, and inside were first responders who were sharing their stories of what happened. After listening to their stories of where they were when that shooting happened, the president took an opportunity to thank them for what they did.
While everyone else was crouching, police officers were standing up as targets, just trying to direct people and tell them where to go. Words cannot describe the bravery that the whole world witnessed on Sunday night.
Now, those first responders who had the opportunity to meet the president covered everyone from Metro to fire crews as well. Coming up at 5, I spoke with one of them who says this was a very humbling experience and one that she won't forget. Tom George, 13 Action News.
Governor Brian Sandoval thanked the president and First Lady for their support. He also took time to thank people from around the nation and the world for the outpouring of support and generosity.
It makes us feel like we're not alone and gives us strength. Briefly, I attended a candlelight vigil last night.
Part of that generosity is being shown through a GoFundMe account for the victims of the Las Vegas shootings tonight. That account has just about reached $9 million in only 2 days. From nearly 70,000 people, they've reset their goals several times. It is now more than $10 million. Tonight, the biggest question still remains. Police are trying to figure out why 64-year-old Stephen Paddock planned and carried out his monstrous shooting rampage.
His girlfriend arrived in the U.S. last night and is now being questioned by authorities. ABC's Donya Backus has the latest.
Stephen Paddock's girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, is now back in the United States, met by federal agents when she arrived in Los Angeles from the Philippines. Now key to the investigation, her sisters say she was not involved.
He sent her away so that he can plan what he's planning without interruptions.
Investigators now giving us a glimpse inside gunman Stephen Paddock's sniper den. The arsenal including shotguns, pistols, and assault rifles. This magazine clip able to hold up to 100 rounds. Under a plate on this room service cart, a surveillance camera, another one set up inside his room.
So that the suspect could watch as law enforcement or security approached his room.
Hey, they're shooting right at us, guys. Everybody stay down. Stay down.
Newly released body camera video shows officers rushing people to safety. The barrage of bullets lasting up to 11 minutes. Wednesday, more faces and names of those 58 innocent lives lost in the massacre revealed, as the more than 530 injured continue to recover.
Seems surreal. It seems so bad nightmare to wake up from.
Investigators are hoping Danley will provide some insight into a motive behind the shooting and whether she had any warning. Donya Backus, ABC News, Las Vegas.
The missing and injured hotline is still active. You can call the number on your screen right now if you're searching for information about a loved one. That number, 866-535-5654.
Also, to help with the investigation, the FBI is asking anyone with pictures or video from the concert venue Sunday night or even anything in the vicinity of Mandalay Bay to call this number, 1-800-255-5324, which is also on your screen.
Vegas Golden Knights are coming out in support of their new hometown. Owner Bill Foley's family's charitable trust and the National Hockey League are donating $300,000 to support the victims and the first responders.
In addition to that donation, the team has also developed a new logo that will appear on merchandise to generate more funds for the victims. This is the logo right here. It says Vegas United. No word yet on when this merchandise will be available for purchase. We are learning more about the victims and hearing from the survivors. So many of them are still in the hospital right now.
58 innocent people were killed. More than 500 others were injured or wounded. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has some of their stories.
A nation in mourning paying tribute as family and friends begin sharing stories honoring their loved ones lost in the Las Vegas massacre.
I'll never see my baby girl again. I loved her so much.
Among the dead, Rhonda LaRoque in Las Vegas on a family vacation. Christopher Roybal, an off-duty police officer and Navy veteran.
He was a goofball. I mean, he's just fun-loving, full of energy.
Hannah Allers, a mother of 3, and Sonny Melton at the concert with his wife Heather, who says she could feel the moment he was shot.
And we fell to the ground, and I was talking to him, and he was still breathing at that time, but then he stopped.
Also emerging, the harrowing stories of survival.
We could hear the bullets like whizzing and snapping by on the ground.
People were trampling over each other, and it was pretty much a war zone.
So many still in pain, but grateful to the strangers and the first responders who risked their lives to save others. McKenna Perry saying she is alive thanks to her boyfriend and Good Samaritans.
My boyfriend had started to help me, like he kind of carried me a little bit of the way, and then there was this couple that had helped us and got us into his truck.
And out of respect for the victims, some performers are now canceling concerts, including J-Lo and Jason Aldean, who of course was on that Las Vegas stage when the shooting erupted. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, Washington.
And we have a positive update to report tonight. UNLV hockey coach Nick Rabone, who was injured in the shootings, is now able to stand and walk. A very big improvement from yesterday. His brother gave us the update. He's a Henderson firefighter that was at the concert in his off time, and he helps to save some of those victims. So happy to hear that news. First responders say all of the training in the world couldn't prepare them for what they encountered Sunday night, especially for about 20 paramedics caught in the middle of the gunfire.
13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan spoke with one paramedic about what they were doing to save lives.
Because I knew she was there, I had lights and sirens, and there was no one telling me where to go.
Brian Rogers said there was nothing keeping him from the Route 91 festival grounds after getting the call from his daughter.
I found out from her before a 911 call ever happened.
Rogers immediately called dispatchers at Community Ambulance, where he's an executive, telling them to call everyone in.
I think they thought I was nuts.
Rogers also radioed employees working the festival, asking them to keep an eye out for his daughter. Caitlin says she knew the moment the gunshots were fired, she needed to head for the medical tent and her co-workers.
We locked hands and I said, "You don't leave me and you follow me."
That's when the employees spotted her and passed along the good news.
He called and said, "I got eyes on her, she's okay."
In the meantime, Caitlin jumped in to help.
We just did what we could with cutting sheets, so we had tourniquets and spiking IV bags and giving paramedics what they needed.
That's when Brian arrived and saw the carnage firsthand.
There was people pulling up with pickup trucks. I think at that point she saw me and came running over to me, gave me a hug, and I remember her saying to me, "Daddy, those people are dead."
As he was working to treat victims on scene, Rogers says he got word his employees were responding en masse.
We actually had too many employees. We ran out of ambulances. So we sent some employees over to AMR to get in their ambulances.
The other agencies eager to team up to make sure as many resources were on site as possible.
It didn't matter what color your shirt is or what color your truck was. We just all had to get the job done.
While paramedics had the training, Rogers said it was the everyday people stepping in to help that likely saved a lot of lives.
There would have been other deaths, I know in my heart, if civilians didn't jump in and help.
Brian Callahan, 13 Action News.
Just incredible stories we're hearing.
And so many people answered the call on some really short notice and did anything they could, just like he said, jumping in an ambulance that wasn't theirs, just do it.
Well, in an effort to help out those brave men and women helping with this tragedy, the Crossings Church is offering free child care to any police officers, firefighters, or first responders that need a break. The child care is offered from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. until Friday. You can call the church at 702-947-2080 for more information. Well, there is a growing memorial set up at the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. It's already a popular tourist destination, as we know, but now look at this. At the base of the sign, people from all over are leaving flowers and candles.
Country singer Jason Aldean, who was on the stage Sunday night when the shooting started, has decided to take some time off. He posted a message on his Facebook page saying his Los Angeles and Anaheim shows are being canceled this weekend. Aldean says the decision was made out of respect for the victims, families, and fans, and said he felt like it was just the right thing to do.
Also, Strip headliners are rearranging their schedules in light of Sunday's mass shooting. Jennifer Lopez has canceled her performances this week. That includes performances for tonight, Friday, and Saturday night. She says they will be rescheduled and tickets will be refunded or replaced. Lopez performs over at Planet Hollywood. She released a statement following Sunday's attack saying she is heartbroken over this senseless tragedy and is keeping the victims and their families in her thoughts and prayers.
While some concerts are being canceled, Stoney's Rockin' Country is holding one tonight to benefit the victims. Some of the headliners include Tony Jackson and Carter Winter. 100% of the proceeds from the concert and the bar will go to Steve Sisolak's Victims Fund. The concert is for all ages. The doors open at 5 p.m.
Before we begin and I ask for the invocation, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to reflect on what happened here Sunday night, for the loss of lives, for the families that are suffering unimaginable pain and sorrow, and for the healing process that this community will go through in the weeks and months and years to come. So if you would join me, please, in a moment.
Clark County Commissioners held their first meeting since the shooting. It began with a moment of silence and a prayer. The commissioners also took time to thank all of the first responders for their incredible efforts Sunday night. And as we go to break, we'd like to continue to remember some of the victims.
Quentin Robbins was 20 years old. He graduated in 2015 from Basic High School and was most recently working as a recreational assistant for the city of Henderson. His aunt said on Facebook he had a sweet soul and a contagious laugh and smile.
This is 34-year-old Carrie Barnett. You may have met her and not even known it. She worked as a Disneyland cast member for 10 years. Her family called her a ray of sunshine.
Well, welcome back. Since Sunday's mass shooting, we have seen so many people come together in support of the victims and their families, including our politicians.
U.S. Senator Catherine Cortes Masto is kind enough to share some time with us now to talk about just this outpouring of support for the community and the first responders, the work they've done. It's got to make you proud.
It does. Born and raised in this community, and the response, not just from the first responders, but people in the hotels, people that live in this community, the lines that you saw for giving blood, just the water, the food that has been sent, everybody trying to figure out, how can I participate? How can I be involved? That's the community we all know and love.
Right.
And they have been it's been phenomenal. I'm just so proud.
And you had mentioned that you were able to talk to some of the victims and their families and offer some comfort and support at a time like this.
I did. I was able to go to the Family Reunification Center Monday night. Families were still looking for the loved ones. I met a family that had gone to all of the hospitals, had still not found their daughter, and we're still waiting to hear from the coroner or somebody to where was my daughter. So I knew that, my gosh, these families there's still many of them out there that were looking for loved ones, and then was able to go through and UMC and Sunrise and not only thank the staff and the doctors and the nurses, but talk to some of the survivors and some of the families, and the stories you hear are just horrific. And but part of this is bringing comfort, right? Part of it is letting these folks and families know that we're here to support them. We want to bring them comfort. We want to bring them relief. That's what we should be doing now, right? We're a community in mourning, and now it's time to come together, the community we know, and help others. And that's why I'm so relieved to see the community's response.
On that note, you as much as anyone, Senator, know that tourism is the economic lifeblood of Southern Nevada. This response, what do you think, what kind of a message do you think that sends to the world as this being a destination that it's still the best thing to come here?
It is, and people need to understand, and the reason why we've had the response we did is because since 9/11, we've been training our law enforcement, our medical providers, all of the hotels and casinos, from the security guards to the staff. Everybody has worked together collaboratively in this community to train, to do exercises, to prepare, because we know there's over, 40 million people that come just to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So what you saw in that response to that horrific massacre Sunday night was that kicking in.
What do you think that tells the world?
That tells the world that this is a place that is still safe to come, that people here are trained like no other, the service you get here is like no other, and we are here to continue to support and provide for this community. And that is a message I think that people now are seeing for the first time, and it's an important message to get out.
And that's the path the city has been on, with bigger entertainment venues, and so people do want to feel secure coming here and enjoying a night out. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that they feel that way, so they continue to come to Las Vegas.
That's right. That's right. And you know, part of this is a community. When I say it's in mourning, that includes members of our family that work on the Strip. Right. Everybody is connected somehow. If somebody had a friend or a family member that was there Sunday night, it was a venue on the Strip. So now it's time to really make sure people get the grief counseling or the relief that they need, which is not just 24, 48 hours after the horrific event, but a week later, 2 weeks later, a couple months later. Those are the things that we need to also continue to be focused on.
This will be a process moving forward. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. And as we go to break today, we really want to remember more of the victims.
Jordan McEldoon was from Canada. He would have turned 24 years old this week. He was about to finish an apprenticeship. He was a big racing fan and visited Las Vegas every year for NASCAR weekend. And
35-year-old Adrian Murfitt had been working 16-hour days all summer as a commercial salmon fisherman in his home state of Alaska. He came here to Las Vegas to finally take some time and have some fun.
13 first alert forecast. So far, we've been experiencing temperatures that are upper 70s and lower 80s, and it doesn't look like today is any different. So very nice stuff. 79 Green Valley, 80 for Southern Highlands. These are some beautiful numbers, and they do get warmer from here. But not to this warm, not to 100-degree level. We already knew that a couple weeks back that we were pretty much done with the 100s, but officially we haven't seen any later than this. So that's it. Yeah, you can put your money down on that one for sure. We're also talking about temperatures overnight coming down by the end of the month. Look at this slide. So our average low temperature right around 63 degrees, but by Halloween we're talking 53. And you know how that can be. You might have to grab a jacket and put it over that costume. Who likes that, right? Desert Doppler looks nice and clear and clean, and that's the way it's going to play out. We know warmer air is going to slip on in, but only for the short term. We don't see anything too warm, and we don't see anything bitterly cold. Even with the next front coming through, pick up some breezes, sure. Drop temperatures down, sure, but then they're back up again as quick as almost you can blink an eye. So we'll be watching this very carefully and tracking it for you over the next many days and seeing what's doing out there, because it does look like temperatures still in the next few nights will be on the cool side, just not bitterly cold, nothing we can't handle. For tonight, we're talking right around 60 degrees. Doing the hour by hours, we're talking about 5 p.m. tomorrow, 84. So notice the temperatures are going to come up as we get into the weekend. And we're still forecasting 90s. That hasn't changed. I don't think we'll hit the 90s tomorrow. I think we'll be right there in the middle 80s. Wind shouldn't be an issue for tomorrow. Little breezes today, but not bad at all. We've been kind of jostling these numbers a little bit, but I think they look pretty good for the weekend. Upper 80s, lower 90s across the valley. That'll do pretty well. So still watching all the way out through next week as those temperatures come up. And you know, when you start talking about home games, this is what we're going to be talking about as far as the Golden Knights are concerned. I think the temperatures will be quite nice across the valley, but that's next week. They're in Dallas end of the week. Either way, we're looking at 60s overnight. Afternoon highs once again come up, and then they drop back down again for early.